Picture this. You're 72, and you've just booked that dream trip to Italy you've been planning for years. You feel energetic, your mind is sharp, and you're ready to tackle those Roman cobblestones like you did European backpacking trips in your 20s. But 3 days into your vacation, you're sitting in a cramped hotel room, exhausted and frustrated, wondering why everything feels so much harder than you expected. Here's what travel companies don't want to discuss. After 70, your body faces hidden challenges that can transform even the most carefully planned trip from a dream into a struggle. It's not about crime or lost luggage. It's about how aging quietly changes your body's ability to handle the physical and mental demands of modern travel. The good news? With the right preparation and realistic expectations, you can absolutely continue exploring the world safely and comfortably. Let me show you what to watch for and how to protect yourself on your next adventure. Deep vein thrombosis, the silent flight threat. That cramped economy seat you used to shrug off? After 70, it becomes a genuine health risk that airlines rarely discuss openly. Your blood circulation naturally slows as you age, and sitting immobile for hours in tight quarters significantly increases your risk of developing deep vein thrombosis, dangerous blood clots that form in your legs. The CDC confirms that passengers over 65 face dramatically higher risks during flights longer than 4 hours. What makes this particularly scary is that DVT often develops silently. You might feel nothing more than mild leg stiffness, but meanwhile, a potentially life-threatening clot is forming. I interviewed a 74-year-old frequent traveler who developed DVT on a flight to London. He told me he felt fine during the flight, just normal leg stiffness that he attributed to the cramped seating. It wasn't until he was walking through Heathrow that his legs suddenly swelled and became painful. Emergency room doctors confirmed a significant clot that could have traveled to his lungs if left untreated. Medical research shows that dehydration, common during air travel, thickens your blood and compounds the clotting risk. Cabin air humidity typically ranges between 10 to 20%, which is drier than most desert environments, pulling moisture from your body faster than you realize. Here's what actually works. Compression socks aren't just comfort items. They're medical devices that can save your life. The American Heart Association confirms that graduated compression socks significantly reduce DVT risk by improving blood flow from your legs back to your heart. Move regularly during the flight, even if it's just flexing your ankles and calves while seated. Stay hydrated, but avoid alcohol, which further dehydrates you. If you're considering upgrading your seat, this might be the time. Premium economy isn't just about comfort. That extra leg room allows for better circulation and easier movement during long flights. Medication emergencies far from home. Here's a scenario that keeps travel insurance companies awake at night. You're exploring a remote village when chest pain starts creeping in. You have no idea where the nearest hospital is, whether anyone speaks your language, or if your insurance is accepted. When you finally reach medical care, you discover the medication you depend on daily isn't available, or worse, is banned in that country. This isn't rare, it happens more often than you'd expect. Healthcare systems vary dramatically worldwide, and what feels routine at home can become a maze of confusion abroad. Many countries have strict regulations on medications that are perfectly legal in the United States. One experienced senior traveler shared her nightmare scenario from a trip to Southeast Asia. She lost her luggage containing all her prescription medications on day 2 of a 3-week trip. What should have been a simple replacement became a week-long ordeal involving multiple doctor's visits, prescription translations, and pharmacy searches in a country where she didn't speak the language. The medications you depend on might be impossible to find, or could have different formulations abroad. Some countries have banned substances that are common prescriptions in the US, leaving travelers scrambling for alternatives they've never tried. To protect yourself, Get a comprehensive checkup before traveling and ask your doctor for extra prescriptions. Not just refills, but actual backup prescriptions you can fill if needed. Pack medications in your carry-on, never in checked luggage. Bring more than you think you'll need, because delays happen and pharmacies might be closed when you need them most. Carry a clear, updated list of all your medications, including generic names and dosages. Many drugs go by different brand names internationally, and having the chemical name can save crucial time in emergencies. Travel insurance that covers medical emergencies isn't optional anymore. It's essential. No matter how healthy you feel when you leave, you want a real safety net if something goes wrong overseas. Cognitive overload in unfamiliar environments. After 70, your brain processes new information differently, even if you feel mentally sharp. Too much coming at you all at once can leave you mentally drained faster than you might expect. And that exhaustion can lead to poor decisions at the worst possible times. Picture this. You've just landed after a long international flight. The airport signs are in a language you don't recognize. Announcements sound muffled and confusing. Crowds are rushing past you, and suddenly every decision, finding your luggage, choosing the right exit, figuring out transportation, feels overwhelming. Cognitive research shows that information processing speed naturally decreases with age, and stressful environments amplify this effect. When your brain is exhausted, judgment becomes impaired without you even realizing it. This is when travelers miss the right bus, overpay taxi drivers, or fall for simple scams they would normally spot immediately. One frequent senior traveler described it perfectly. "It wasn't that I couldn't think clearly. It was that everything required so much more mental energy than it used to. By the end of a travel day, I was making mistakes I never would have made when I was younger." The solution isn't avoiding travel. It's planning smarter. Give yourself breathing room between flights, check-ins, and activities. Packing your schedule too tightly creates unnecessary pressure when your brain is already working harder to process unfamiliar environments. Use technology strategically to reduce mental load. Set up GPS routes ahead of time, download translation apps, and keep essential travel information easily accessible. Having backup plans reduces the mental energy spent on constant decision-making. Plan recovery days into your itinerary. Days where you're not racing to check off landmarks or stick to rigid schedules. Sometimes those relaxed days end up being the most memorable parts of your trip. Here's an underrated tip. Put essential travel details on paper. Phones die and apps crash, but a printed itinerary with hotel addresses, flight information, and emergency contacts is always ready when you need it most. Weakened immune systems and infection risk. As we age, our immune systems naturally weaken, making it easier for viruses and bacteria to slip past our defenses. Crowded airports, public transportation, restaurants, and tourist attractions become prime environments for picking up infections that your younger immune system might have easily fought off. When your body is already working harder to adjust to new time zones, climates, and routines, fighting off even a minor infection becomes significantly more challenging. What might have been a day or two of feeling under the weather in your 50s can knock you out for a week in your 70s. Medical studies show that older adults are particularly vulnerable to respiratory infections, stomach bugs, and other travel-related illnesses. The stress of travel itself suppresses immune function, creating a perfect storm for getting sick far from home. A preventive prescription from your doctor can be a lifesaver. Many experienced senior travelers carry antibiotics like ciprofloxacin or azithromycin, medications that can help if you develop a sudden stomach bug, respiratory infection, or other illness in places where medical care isn't easily accessible. Before you assume you can just buy medications over the counter while traveling, consider this. Not every country has the same quality control standards. Some antibiotics sold abroad might not be what they claim to be, making a prescription from your own doctor a more reliable backup. Simple habits make a bigger difference than you might think. Wash your hands frequently, carry hand sanitizer, and avoid touching your face when moving through crowded areas. These aren't paranoid precautions. They're practical steps that help you stay healthy so you can actually enjoy the adventures you planned. Choose accommodations and restaurants with good hygiene standards. This isn't about being snobbish. It's about recognizing that your 70-year-old immune system can't bounce back from food poisoning or stomach bugs as easily as it used to. Social isolation and cultural overwhelm. Here's something travel brochures never mention. When you're far from home, even simple interactions suddenly require more energy. Ordering food, asking for directions, or making small talk with locals becomes mentally taxing when communication isn't effortless. At home, everything runs on autopilot. Your favorite coffee shop, streets you know by heart, familiar conversations with neighbors. Abroad, even basic tasks demand conscious effort, and that constant low-level stress can gradually chip away at your confidence and enjoyment. One elderly traveler described it perfectly. It wasn't the language barrier or cultural differences that got to me. It was sitting alone in that beautiful little cafe and suddenly feeling like I didn't belong anywhere that day. This emotional exhaustion can lead to something psychologists call cultural retreat. When travelers start avoiding local experiences and spending more time in their hotel rooms instead of exploring the culture they came to see. The solution is building bridges to familiarity while embracing new experiences. Set up regular video calls with family to maintain your connection to home. Before traveling, learn a few essential local phrases. Hello, thank you, and polite requests go a long way toward making everyday interactions feel more comfortable. Consider staying longer in fewer places instead of rushing through multiple cities. Giving yourself time to settle in helps unfamiliar places start feeling more comfortable, and you'll often discover that locals become friendlier when they see you as more than just another tourist passing through. Join group tours or activities where you can connect with other travelers. Having companions, even temporary ones, can make exploration feel less isolating and more enjoyable. Increased vulnerability to crime. This is difficult to discuss, but criminals often target older travelers, viewing them as easier marks. They look for people who seem distracted, hesitant, or slow to react. Moving uncertainly, looking confused, or hesitating to speak up can make you stand out in ways you don't want to. Professional pickpockets and scammers are skilled at identifying vulnerable targets. They watch for travelers who appear unfamiliar with their surroundings, who move slowly, or who seem easily flustered by unexpected situations. But here's the empowering news. Simple changes in how you carry yourself can make you a much harder target. Walk with purpose, even if you're not completely sure where you're going. Keep your head up, make eye contact, and stay aware of your surroundings. Confidence, even when you're feeling uncertain, sends a clear message that you're not an easy mark. Invest in theft-resistant gear designed for travel. Money belts worn under clothing, slash-resistant bags, and small crossbody pouches can protect your valuables without weighing you down or looking obvious. Learn about common scams in your destination before arriving. Knowing what to expect helps you recognize suspicious situations before you're caught off guard. This isn't about becoming paranoid. It's about being prepared. Stay in well-reviewed accommodations in safe neighborhoods, even if they cost slightly more. Choose restaurants and shops that locals frequent rather than obvious tourist traps. When possible, travel with companions, especially in unfamiliar areas or at night. Physical demands and recovery time. Your 70-year-old body simply doesn't recover from physical exertion the way it did decades ago. Those charming cobblestone streets that look gorgeous in photos, they're an endurance test disguised as sightseeing. Steep hotel staircases, long terminal walks, and uneven terrain can exhaust you faster than you expect. One experienced senior traveler shared his reality check. I thought I was in great shape for my age, but after 3 hours walking around that medieval city, I was done for the day. My legs ached, my back hurt, and I spent the evening in my hotel room instead of enjoying the nightlife I'd read about. The solution isn't avoiding active destinations. It's planning realistically. Build rest days into your itinerary. Space out physical activities with lighter days. Choose accommodations with elevators and shorter walking distances to major attractions. If your dream destinations involve significant walking, hills, or stairs, start preparing months before you travel. Simple exercises like walking with light weights can make carrying luggage feel effortless later. Climbing stairs once or twice a week builds the specific muscle strength you'll need for European castles or historic districts. Start small if you're not used to regular exercise. Walk a little farther each day and gradually increase your endurance. A little preparation now means significantly more freedom and enjoyment once your adventure begins. Consider upgrading transportation and accommodations when it makes sense. Premium economy seats, hotel rooms with elevators, and guided tours with transportation can help you conserve energy for the experiences you really want to prioritize. Traveling after 70 isn't about limiting your dreams. It's about pursuing them more strategically. The better you prepare for these hidden challenges, the more you can focus on the incredible experiences that make travel worthwhile. Every senior traveler I interviewed emphasized the same point. The trips they enjoyed most weren't necessarily the most ambitious ones. They were the trips where they planned thoughtfully, listened to their bodies, and gave themselves permission to travel at their own pace. Your age brings wisdom, perspective, and often more time to truly savor experiences. When you travel smart and prepare for the realities of aging, you can absolutely continue exploring the world safely and comfortably for years to come. What concerns you most about traveling as you get older? Have you experienced any of these challenges on your own trips? Share your experiences and tips in the comments below. Your insights could help fellow travelers plan safer, more enjoyable adventures. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to Journey Tips for more travel insights like this. Share this with any senior travelers in your life. These strategies could make the difference between a stressful trip and the adventure of a lifetime. Thanks so much for watching. Safe travels, and I'll see you on the next Journey Tips.